If you're going to be a man who's going to sit and say, I'm just sad, you are always going to lose in competition to men like me. And there has to be losers for there to be winners. I am tired of sympathy. Sympathy doesn't work for anybody. I'm not going to sit here and be sympathetic for people who say they're too sad to try hard and be their best. Guess what? Perhaps I was sad every time I did exactly what I was supposed to do and trained anyway. Perhaps I was afraid when I fought anyway. Perhaps I was tired when I worked anyway. This is how you get ahead in life. I don't have a fucking ounce of sympathy for these people who sit here and say, well, I feel this way, so I can't. Then don't do it. Stay down there. The winners are at the top, and the winners at the top don't give a shit about how they feel. We wake up and we perform regardless of how we feel day after day. So if I'm going to ignore my own feelings, I'm certainly not going to take into consideration anybody else's. Yeah. Why am I going to ignore how I feel and make sure I'm constantly performing regardless, flawlessly, and then sit and go, oh, but he doesn't feel good, so he's allowed to fuck up. No, you are not. You're not allowed to fuck up to your ancestors or to God or to yourself. You have to perform. This is what being a man is about. The baseline of masculinity is doing things you don't feel like doing. I can't comment on being a woman because I'm not one. But the baseline of masculinity as a whole is the thing that makes a good man a man is that he does what he doesn't want to do. He doesn't want to work and he works anyway. He doesn't want to go to war and he fights anyway. He doesn't want to get up, he gets up anyway. That's the whole point of it. We didn't want to die in the Titanic. Guess what happened? We died in the Titanic. You can't sit there as a man and say you don't feel like it. You're not allowed to not feel like it. You're supposed to do it anyway, regardless. Yeah. So when a man sits there and says, oh, but you don't understand, I'm struggling with motivation. If you are struggling with the motivation to be a winner, then stay a fucking loser. No problem. Stay a loser. Don't care. Because in my circle, there's no losers around me. Your energy is disgusting. I find it revolting. I don't like weakness around me, even near me. Even people coming up saying hello to me. If you're depressed, don't even shake my hand. I do not have time for losers on any regard. Winners only. People want to be individualistic. People like the idea of getting attention. It's a very easy way to garner attention from the universe without any kind of merit. The traditional way to get attention in the world is to do something which is merit worthy. Yeah. I had to go out and become a world champion kickboxer and fight and become rich and become important and say interesting things for people to pay attention to me. But if you're a loser and there's absolutely nothing about you which is special or unique and you want attention, you can sit and try and police other people's language with this complete garbage because it's going to attract attention, whether negative or positive. Some people are going to support you, some people are going to be negative about it, and either way it's attention. So it's purely attention-seeking bullshit, but that's not what's scary about it. What's genuinely dangerous about it is two things. One, the idea that they're trying to propagate it on the children. The fact that they will not leave children alone and they're going to sit there with children while their minds form and try and push these idiotic agendas on them is more than criminal. It's genuinely satanic and it's disgusting. Leave the children alone. I don't care if you're gay. I don't care if you're LGBTQ. I don't care if you want to call yourself a zebra. I don't care if you want to stand on your head. I don't care what anybody wants to do in their own private life with their own private time. But I do care what you try and tell my kids. My children, they are mine. And everybody else who's raising children should have the prerogative to decide what they are told and taught. You cannot sit there and force these agendas on children. This is the first thing. And the second thing I don't like is when they try and police other people's speech. There are certain countries in the world today, Canada being one of them, whereas if someone decides to change their pronoun, if I decide to become a she, unless you call me a she, you are breaking the law. You are forcing and mandating by law for other people to participate in a delusion, because that's exactly what it is a delusion. And forcing other people to believe in delusions by law is wrong. So I don't have anything against it on the individual level, but when it expands out on the societal level, it offends me. That's it. It's very difficult now because your children are constantly exposed to all this garbage on the internet. It's hard, and the agendas and the machine behind them is constantly attacking the psychology of your children. Yeah. It's extremely scary, and you have to do your very best to keep them God-fearing, keep them disciplined, and make them understand at a very fundamental level that your parents know best, daddy knows best, that the machine does not know better. I'm the one who raises you, I'm the one who takes care of you, and I'm the one who's gonna have the final say on basically all of your opinions until you reach 18 years old, and that's how it's gonna be.